Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to News in 30 minutes, and today let us look at some of the important issues on the 24th of November 2023. With this initiative, I hope one, you are getting conceptual clarity on different issues. Okay. The second, you are able to learn the art of analysis, and the third, you are able to map the issues back to static. And on top of everything else, I hope you are becoming a thinking individual. Okay, this is one of the most important aspect of me starting the news in 30 minutes. That is to make you a thinking individual. Okay, so I hope you are moving towards that trajectory. With that, let us start off with some of the important issues on the 24th of November 2023. The first issue is, to beat China, India must engage with APEC. They are talking about the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. Okay, so this is a cooperation that constitutes all littoral countries. It has littoral countries of Pacific. Okay, and this particular Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation happened in 2023, that is this year, in a place called San Francisco. And in this cooperation, after almost 1 year of gap, USA and China, they started to talk again. Okay, that is why in this backdrop, the author tells, to beat China, India must engage with APEC. Okay, so the author tells India is in the same region and needs to engage with aspects of APEC so that its economic goals can be met. This can make India a better alternative to new FDI in China, so that it can replace China and we can attract all those foreign direct investments. Okay, all right. So first, the basic part, what exactly is APEC? As I told you, APEC is Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. This was set up in 1989. Its secretariat is in Singapore. Okay, and it is a group which is mainly, see, they don't call it Asia Pacific countries, they call it Asia Pacific economies. Okay, and because they call it Asia Pacific economies, this allows, because they call it Asia Pacific economies, this allows Taiwan to also be a member of this grouping, also Hong Kong to also be the member of this grouping along with China. If it was called countries, then I don't think Taiwan and Hong Kong would have been in the grouping. Okay, so this is one thing. You should know that Taiwan and Hong Kong are also part of the grouping of APEC. And one more aspect you should know is, India is not a member. India is not a member of APEC. It has just got an observer status, but it is not a member of APEC. Okay, this is coming from the prelims perspective. Okay, so coming from the mains perspective, if I have to analyze the APEC that took part in 2023 or that took place in 2023 in San Francisco, they have come up with something called Golden Gate Declaration. They have come up with Golden Gate Declaration. This declaration says, one, they will work towards resilient and sustainable future for all. Resilient and sustainable future for all. The second, they say that they want to reaffirm, this is very important, they want to reaffirm the importance of World Trade Organization and also set up an effective dispute settlement system. Currently, the dispute settlement system is there, but it is not that effective. So they want to set up a dispute settlement system that is very effective. Okay, which has some type of teeth so that the members abide by the judgment given by the dispute settlement system. The third aspect that the Golden Gate Declaration has done is it has promised to build upon the APEC's Bangkok goals. Okay, there is something called Bangkok goals. This Bangkok goals basically speaks about circular green economy. Okay, so the Bangkok goals, the Golden Gate Declaration has told that we will build upon this bio-circular green economy. That is nothing but Bangkok goals. Okay, and the last assurance that has come from the Golden Gate Declaration is it has spoken about helping the MSMEs, helping or boosting agricultural productivity. It has also spoken about encouraging low emission technologies. Okay, now coming to the analysis angle, you can see that MSMEs, agri productivity, circular economy, low emission technologies, WTO, all these areas are places where India plays a very significant role. As you know, because India is a voice for global south, India's role in these sections, low emission technology, agricultural productivity, MSMEs, biocircular and green economy, as well as the WTO, India plays a very important role. So, if India has to make its presence felt, then India has to somehow bring dialogue into APEC. Vice versa is also true. That is, if APEC has to become effective in the Indian Ocean, then it has to bring India into its ambit. So, both need each other in order to serve their interests. India obviously is a leader when it comes to the verticals that APEC is working on. So, if Golden Gate Declaration has to be true or has to be implemented effectively, India and bringing India into its ambit is a very important aspect for APEC. So, this is what I would like to conclude regarding APEC. I hope you got to understand what is APEC and how APEC is important from prelims as well as mains perspective and how analysis can be done on this. Okay, so this completes the first issue. The next issue is SEBI has released yesterday something called IRRA. Okay, it is nothing but Investor Risk Reduction Access Platform. Okay, it is released something called IRRA. Okay, this IRRA has been developed by BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, NSE, that is National Stock Exchange, NCDEX, that is National Commodity Exchange. The next is MCX, that is Multi Commodity Exchange, and the next is MSE, that is Metropolitan Stock Exchange of India. Okay, so this is Metropolitan Stock Exchange, this is Multi Commodity Stock Exchange, National Commodity Stock Exchange, NSE and BSE, that's National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange. So all these stock exchanges together have created something called Investor Risk Reduction Access Platform. Okay, so this was released by SEBI. So this acts as a safety net. This acts as a safety net for all those investors, who are trading with the help of technology. Now, when you are trading with the help of technology, obviously this technology will obviously have technical glitches. So, whenever there is technical glitches, in order to save the investor or to save losses for the investors, you have a platform, and that platform is known as Investor Risk Reduction Access Platform. Okay, so platform. All right, so I hope you understood this. This acts as a safety net for the investors who are trading with the help of technology, and if there are any technical glitches, then it will save the investor from any type of losses. Okay, so how does this happen? Okay, now see, one, I told you that it acts as a safety net. Okay, it acts as a safety net for investors. What type of investors does it act as safety net? Two types of investors. One is trading member. That trading member can be you, me, or any person who is trading on behalf of other clients. That is a trading member. The second is a stockbroker. A stockbroker is an individual who is registered with the regulatory bodies like SEBI, and then that person will take trading on behalf of other clients. So the investors are these trading members and stockbrokers. Now these people will do trading with the help of technologies. Okay, and whenever there is technical glitches, then what happens is the IRRA, that is the Investors Risk Reduction Access Platform, gets activated, and in this platform what the investors can do is the investors can close the transaction. Okay, they can close the transaction. Again, let me reiterate, they cannot take up a fresh transaction. The only thing that they can do is close the transaction. Okay, the reason why they can close the transaction is they can make sure that by closing the transaction they can reduce the losses. Okay, they cannot take up fresh transactions because there is a technical glitch, and there is a technical glitch means you should not take up anything, you should wait for some time. Correct? So giving fresh transaction is useless. The only option available is to close the transactions. So this is how it works. Now, what is few things that you should not know, or I mean, what are the few things that you should know? Sorry, is it is not available. IRRA is not available for two kinds of investors. The two kinds of investors are, one, algo trading investors. Okay, another is institutional clients. Okay, algo trading means these people will have, or the trading is executed on pre-programmed trading instruction. Okay, there will be automated pre-programmed trading instructions to buy and sell. They would have created a program, and that program will automatically buy and sell on the basis of what instructions it is given. So that is what is algorithm trading or algo trading. So IRRA is not available to algo trading people, as well as it is not available to institutional clients. Institutional clients is when organization invests in stocks or invests in commodity market. For example, it can be mutual funds. That is, institutional clients can be mutual funds. Okay, there can be insurance companies. Okay, they can be pension companies. Okay, or they can be hedge funds. Okay, so all these together are known as institutional clients. In prelims exam, they can just ask you who are the following institutional clients, and they can give you A, B, C and D. Okay, so you should be careful in whatever I am trying to explain. Okay, so let me now summarize what is the investor risk reduction access platform. Investor risk reduction access platform. Investor risk reduction access platform is to act as a safety net for investors, especially the trading members and stockbrokers who use technology, and if there are technical glitches in this technology, then IRRA platform will get activated, and through this platform these trading members and stockbrokers can close the transaction. They cannot make fresh transactions. Okay, the next is this safety net is not available to investors who do algorithmic trading or who are institutional clients. Okay, so this is what is IRRA. Now I told you, whenever there is technical glitches, IRRA platform gets activated. Now this platform can get activated by the intimation of a trading member. Whenever a trading member complains that there has been a technical glitch, IRRA platform gets activated. The second is even the stock exchanges can initiate the IRRA platform. Okay, however, if the stock exchanges have to initiate this IRRA platform, all the stock exchanges must face the glitch. Okay, it should not be that only one stock exchange is facing the glitch. All the stock exchange must face the glitch. Only then IRRA platform will get activated. This is only in the latter case. So either the trading member can activate it or initiate it. The trading member can initiate it, or the stock exchanges can do it. They can do it suo moto. Okay, so this is what is IRRA platform. Overall, this will boost the investor confidence. Okay, this will boost the investor confidence. The second, it will help in using of more and more technology in trading. Okay, as you know, technology will bring accessibility. Technology will bring more capital, so use of technology in trading will again spur more investment into the capital markets of India. Okay, so these are some of the the consequences of using such risk reduction access platform. Okay, so I hope you understood what is this IRRA. Let us go to the next issue of the day. The next issue is, as you you might have known about the issue of stubble burning, and the stubble burning happens because of the Kharif Rabi crop system that we we take up in India. In India, the Kharif Rabi crop system is rice wheat crop system. Okay, so wheat is basically winter wheat that we grow in India. In India, wheat is a winter crop, so we grow winter wheat. So between rice and wheat, basically we have only 10 days of interval. So we have to make sure that, or the farmers have to make sure that after rice is grown, the field is prepared for wheat. And the most easiest way to prepare it is by farm fires. Okay, so this is what is the reason for increased farm fires, especially in the month of September and October. Okay, so especially in the month of September and October, or September, October and November, you are seeing these farm fires coming up, and this creates intense air pollution in the cities of Delhi and surrounding areas. Okay, so to overcome this, there was something called a central sector scheme. There was a central sector scheme, and the central sector scheme was known as crop residue management. There was a system called crop residue management in 2018. Okay, this was a central sector scheme, and when this scheme was executed, now there was a necessity to monitor how effective this scheme is being implemented. Okay, so if crop residue is managed effectively, then obviously the farm fire should reduce. If farm fire have to reduce, I have to have some type of monitoring mechanism to monitor this farm fires. Then came the technology called Indian Agricultural Research Institute's laboratory that has created something called CREAMS. Okay, so this IARI's CREAMS is the technology, or it is the laboratory that will monitor farm fires, and also it will check whether are we effectively implementing the crop residue management that was introduced in 2018. Okay, so this is the overall backdrop. Hence, we have to monitor farm fires, and we are monitoring it through IARI's CREAMS. Now, let us understand what this IARI's CREAMS is. If you can see here, IARI is Indian Agricultural Research Institute, and they have created a laboratory called CREAMS laboratory. The full form of CREAMS is Consortium for Research on Agro-Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from Space. Okay, it is Consortium for Research on Agro-Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from Space. Okay, so basically we are using the satellite data. Okay, basically we are using the satellite data. Okay, so this is what is the CREAMS laboratory. So as I told you, since it uses the satellite data, okay, let me first tell you, this CREAMS laboratory was set up in 2013. It was set up in 2013. The main purpose that it was set up is, see, because the crop residue management scheme came in 2018. So don't think that CREAMS came after that. CREAMS was set up in 2013. The main purpose of CREAMS was to monitor crop conditions against climate event. Okay, if there is any heat wave, or if there is any type of droughts, floods, so monitoring the crop conditions due to climatic events, this was the main job of this CREAMS laboratory. Okay, and from 2018 it also got another objective of monitoring crop residue management. 2018 crop residue management. So this was an additional job that it took up. Okay, so from 2020 onwards, CREAMS started living out daily bulletin. It started living out daily bulletin of paddy burning. Okay, or paddy residue burning. Sorry, paddy residue burning. So it started releasing from 2020. It started releasing a daily bulletin of paddy residue burning. Now this is a bulletin that is giving a district wise distribution of farm fires. District wise distribution of farm fires. Okay, so this is what is CREAMS. So reiterate this, CREAMS is nothing but Consortium of Research on Agro-Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from Space. It uses satellite data to track crops. Initially in 2013 when it was set up, it was basically to monitor crops and its impact due to climate change or climate events. In 2018, there was an additional job that was given to it, that is to monitor the crop residue management. And in this endeavor, it started releasing a daily bulletin of paddy residue burning from 2020. It gives district-wise data. Okay. Now, the data is collected. Okay, the CREAMS will collect the data from 3 sensors, from 3 satellites. Okay, it collects the data from 3 sensors from 3 satellites. So, one sensor is known as VIRS, and there are 2 sensors which are known as MODIS. So, we have 2 sensors of MODIS and 1 sensor of, I am talking about this. So, 1 sensor of VIRS and 2 sensors of MODIS. And this VIRS is mounted in a satellite called Xiaomi NPP satellite, and MODIS is mounted in a satellite, 2 satellites called Terra satellite, and it is at Aqua satellite. Okay, so the data that CREAMS get will come from these 3 sensors, and these 3 sensors are mounted in these 3 satellites. VIRS is mounted in Xiaomi NPP satellite. MODIS sensors are there in Terra satellite and Aqua satellite. So all the 3 satellites basically will collect data by recording land surface temperatures. Okay, so I hope you understood what is this CREAMS. So according to the data given by them, when they calculated the farm fires across 6 states or UTs, when they calculated the farm fires across 6 states and UTs, which has Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Rajasthan, MP, UP, when they calculated this 6 states, there were 55,725 farm fires in just 1 month, that is September 15, 2 months, September 15 to November 15th. In 2 months, there were 55,725 farm fires. One more thing what you should know is, out of this 55,725 farm fires, 36,323 is coming from a single state, that is Punjab. Now you know how important stubble burning and stopping the stubble burning, especially in state of Punjab, is important. Okay, so this is the data that we have got from CREAMS, the Consortium for Research on Agro-Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from Space. So I hope you understood what are farm fires and what is the reason for monitoring the farm fires, because of the crop residue management system that was introduced in 2018. And how do we do it? We do it via IARI's CREAMS laboratory, which uses 3 sensors and 3 satellites. Okay, so this is the overall issue of the farm fires and stubble burning and how it's monitored. Okay, so with this, let us go on to the next issue of the day. The next issue is the Supreme Court asks the Centre to constitute a fresh delimitation commission. The direction were issued by the Supreme Court on a plea seeking proportional representation of Limbu and Tamang tribal communities in the state assemblies. Okay, so let me just explain what the issue is. The issue is mainly proportional representation of SCs and STs in assembly, in elections. Okay, proportional representation of SCs and STs in elections. Okay, this is the main thing that is happening. So what the petitioners have filed is, if we take ST population, this petitioner is talking about West Bengal and Sikkim. Okay, they are talking in the context of West Bengal and Sikkim. So they are telling that in West Bengal and Sikkim, the ST population has increased. However, though ST population has increased, the seats that are reserved for STs have not increased proportionately. I hope you understood the issue. Because ST population has increased, okay, ST population has increased, however, the seats reserved for STs have not been increased. This is the issue that the petitioners have filed, and because this is true, it can be empirically verified, the Supreme Court has told that to overcome this, we have to set up what we call delimitation commission. We have to set up delimitation commission. Okay. Now look at this. The center usually will do a recourse. Let me just give you a brief of what is this delimitation commission. You should understand what is delimitation commission. Okay. The center, the union government, can under Article 82 set up delimitation commission via an act, delimitation act. Okay. By enacting this act, they can set up something called delimitation commission. Okay. Now the job of delimitation commission is basically twofold. One is it will draw boundaries. It will draw boundaries for constituencies for both state assembly, and Lok Sabha. You should be careful here. Both Lok Sabha and State Assembly, delimitation commission only will draw the boundaries for constituencies. Okay. The second job that the delimitation commission does is it provides the boundaries, or it provides the members of SCs and STs, the seats that are reserved in these constituencies. Okay, the seats that are reserved in these constituencies are reserved on the basis of their population. Okay, so basically SCs and STs will be given their reservation on the basis of their proportional population. Okay, now what you should understand is Article 82 tells that the center has to set up the delimitation act after every census. Okay, after every census. Now the delimitation act of 2002 which was set up, this during this there was also something called 84th Amendment Act. Okay, there was an 84th Amendment Act. In this 84th Amendment Act, whatever seats that we have in both Lok Sabha and State Assembly, these seats, Lok Sabha and State Assembly, whatever seats we have, these seats were frozen till 2026. Okay, so the delimitation commission's this job of delimitation commission that was done in 2001 census. Okay, the delimitation commissions, whatever constituencies was drawn, this is frozen up to 2026. Okay, up to 2026 there is no more redrawing of boundaries of constituencies. However, using in the same delimitation commission delimitation act of 2002, the delimitation commission used 2001 census. It used 2001 census to do its second job. That is, it used the 2001 census in order to reserve seats for the SCs and STs population. Now the seats that were reserved for SCs and SCs are based on the census that is of 2001. Okay, so what the Supreme Court is telling is 2001 census was used, now it is 2023, so the population of SCs and STs would have increased, so it is time to set up a delimitation commission, which is going to take care of its second job, that is to make sure that the seats are reserved in the constituencies. They are reserved in the constituencies on the basis of the population of SCs and STs, because it tells currently it is not proportional to the population, because the delimitation has been done on the basis of 2001 census. So I hope you understood. Let me just summarize. So delimitation commission can be enacted via delimitation act, and delimitation act can be enacted via the Article 82. So Article 82 provides powers for the central government to enact a delimitation act which gives shape to delimitation commission. Delimitation commission has two jobs. One, it draws boundaries for constituencies for both State Assembly and Lok Sabha. This drawing boundaries for constituencies is frozen because the number of seats in Lok Sabha and State Assembly is frozen till 2026 as per the 84th Amendment Act 2002. However, in delimitation in 2002, there was something called Delimitation Act 2002 that was set up, and in this, the delimitation commission did its second job, that is, the members of SCs and STs seats were reserved in the constituencies on the basis of 2001 census. Okay, so the reservation of the seats was done on the basis of 2001 census, but it's been more than 20 years and there has been rise in the population of SCs and STs. So it is time to set up the new delimitation commission in order to make sure that the seats are again reserved for STs and SCs on the basis of the new population of STs and SCs. So this is the overall issue. So here the petitioner is talking in general with regards to West Bengal and Sikkim. So they are talking about the tribal communities, more specifically regarding Limbu and Tamang. Okay, so they are telling that these tribes, there has been rise in population. However, though there has been rise in population, their representation in the state has not improved. The reason the representation is not improved is because their seats that are reserved for them is very less. So by setting up the new delimitation commission, it gives them the scope to increase the seats that are reserved for them if they use the more recent census. Instead of using 2001 census, if they use the more recent census, that will give them the proper representation for these SCs and STs. Sorry, these STs. Overall, by setting up the delimitation commission and by using the recent census, the census is going to happen next year because there was a delay. Census had to happen in 2021 because there was a delay because of COVID. Census is still not taken place in India. So it will happen in a couple of years. So taking that new census, if they can delimit on the basis of the new SCs and STs population, then that will provide proportional representation to these communities. Okay, so at the end of the day, this delimitation, the delimitation is necessary, especially in case of SCs and STs, to provide them proportional representation on the basis of their population for for us to uphold Article 332 and Article 323 or 333 of the Constitution. Okay, and for this setting up the delimitation commission becomes very, very important. Okay, so this is the overall issue, and delimitation commission is basically set up by the union government only, and it is set up by the government by enacting Delimitation Act under Article 82. And it is, once it is set up, the delimitation commission, the appointment of the members in the delimitation commission is done by the president. Okay, and the members in the delimitation commission are: one, the chairperson. The chairperson is the retired judge of Supreme Court. The second is the chief election commissioner. The third is the state election commissioners of the concerned state or UTs. So these are the three members. Chairperson will be the retired judge of Supreme Court. The second is the chief election commissioner, and the third, the state election commissioners of the concerned states and UTs. So in this petition, with this regard, just as an example, we can take the election commissioners of Sikkim as well as West Bengal. Okay, so this is what is the delimitation commission, and its twofold job: one, in order to draw boundaries that decides the constituencies for both state assemblies and Lok Sabha, and the second is to draw seats or reserve seats in proportional representation to the population of STs and SCs in that particular state. So this is what is delimitation commission. The next issue is a very, very interesting issue. It is, see, this author tells a 5 trillion economy, but for whom are we doing it? Okay, though it gives a very negative connotation towards 5 trillion economy, it is a very interesting thing for you to know, because the author gives the case study of Japan. Okay, this case study you can use in society angle, in development angle, and in different sections of your mains exam. So very good case study. It is a story of Japan's growth story. I mean, it's the story of Japan's growth. Okay, now the first thing that you should know is, in Japan there is one death by suicide. There is one death by suicide every 20 minutes. So one person is dying by suicide every 20 minutes in Japan. The third, there is a concept called ikikomori. Okay, there is a concept called ikikomori. What it means is, there are 15 lakh Japanese people who have never left their homes for years. They have never come out of their homes for years. The reason is because of severe social withdrawal. Look at the sociological angle here. Okay, this is known as ikikomori. Okay, the third aspect is the parents, because their children are not visiting them. These parents are employing actors. The parents are employing actors to come on Sunday and act and call them mom and dad. Okay, this is the third sociological reflection of what is happening in Japan. And the fourth one is a concept called kodokushi. Kodokushi is also known as lonely deaths. Okay, so this is another phenomena happening in Japan. Every day there are dead people. There are dead people found in tiny apartments. And you know what is the unfortunate thing? In this tiny apartments, the dead people are discovered after several weeks. Okay, this is what is kodokushi. Okay, now this is the story of the Japanese growth. We say that the Japan is the third largest economy. It is the third largest economy in terms of GDP, but the author says, though it is the third largest economy in GDP, is it worth having this type of an economy where there is a death by suicide every 20 minutes? Ikikomori is taking place, that is severe social withdrawal, that people are refusing to leave their homes. Parents are employing actors to act as children because children are not visiting them. And kodokushi, where lonely deaths happen in tiny apartments whose deaths are discovered after several weeks. All this shows that India, which is eyeing to become third largest economy by 2027, has to be very careful. Okay, the reason why the author is bringing India and asking that India has to be cautious is because of the changing scenarios within India also. Okay, in India we have a deep divide. Okay, we have a deep divide between urban and rural. We have a deep divide between the class. We have the deep divide between caste. We have the deep divide between the urban poor, urban middle class, and the elite. Okay, because we have such deep divisions within the society, we have to be very, very cautious in how we are going to strive towards our goal, because we are vehemently moving towards achieving a developed nation. We are vehemently moving towards achieving a developed nation by 2047. IMF has also told that we will be achieving the third largest economy by 2027. So economy wise, do we have to only focus on GDP, or do we have to focus truly on human development? Do we have to focus on inclusive development? Okay, so these are some things that we have to ponder upon. These are some things that you have to think, and I'm going to stop it here so that I will facilitate your thinking, but I'll never take a call on what should be the conclusion. So you people have to think, you people have to take a call regarding what should be the growth trajectory of India. Should we be overly GDP possessed, or should we focus on human and inclusive development? Okay, so with this we have finished some of the important issues of the day. I hope you people liked it. Episode 3 of Thinkers and Theories is live. It is George Mead and the concept of self, that is up there. So you people can go and watch it. Please provide us suggestions on any type of improvements. And please, if you are feeling that these initiatives are helping you in any slight way, please make sure that you like, share and subscribe. This will mean a world of good to us. Okay, it will keep us motivated and it will keep us on the foot to give you better quality and more such unique initiatives. With that, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.